I know the Haitian community backwards and forwards. They lived back 200 years ago. They just shouldn't have been taken out of the jungle and placed in the middle of a small town America.
On Monday, Rudy Giuliani went on a jaw-droppingly racist tirade against Haitian immigrants. Now, the right wing has, for the most part, moved on from its disgusting attacks against the Haitian community in Springfield, Ohio. But that didn't stop Giuliani from slandering Haitians anyways. Let's watch the whole rant. Take a look.
Remember when J.D. Vance pointed out that the Haitians were eating animals in Springfield?
Yep.
Springfield, Ohio. So that's based on reports to that effect. Now, it may not be true. It may be exaggerated. It may be insane. It may be whatever. But here's what it accomplished. It brought attention to Springfield, which is overwhelmed with traffic accidents because the Haitians are allowed to drive and they don't know how to. I know the Haitian community backwards and forwards. I spent time in Haiti negotiating when I worked for Ronald Reagan. They practice voodoo. And when they practice voodoo, they kill domestic animals. I mean, half of them do. That's just it. And they're not taking people in and saying, "Oh, Mr. Haitian, are you one of those who kills animals or not? Or do you practice voodoo?" They have no idea. So animals are getting hurt somewhere. If you've got a lot of these people here. And look, I'm going to say this. It's not their fault. They lived back 200 years ago. They just shouldn't have been taken out of the jungle and placed in the middle of a small town America. That's ridiculous. Or big town America, for that matter.
Cenk, do you believe Rudy Giuliani when he says he knows Haitians backwards and forwards? I mean, this is just disgusting.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't know his ass backwards and forwards. This is a clown show, man. Both sides trying to lose the election, and Rudy's like, "Oh, we haven't said enough racist things, so I'll fill the quota today." So, but there's so much ironies here that I want to break down for you guys. So he said the Haitians shouldn't have come out of the jungle. You want to know what happened to Haiti and why it's actually one of the poor countries in the Western Hemisphere? It's because of deforestation that the French colonists did, and because they wanted to clear the land to be able to use more slaves on the land to plant coffee and other plants that they would then sell. And when they did that, it led to soil erosion, which destroyed their economy. So even though Haiti and the Dominican Republic are on the same island, some morons will sometimes be like, "Oh, Haiti's so much worse off than the Dominican Republic because they're black." A lot of people in Dominican Republic are also black and brown, etc. That has nothing, you idiot, that has nothing to do with it. What happened was that France ran Haiti, brought in a ton of slaves, and destroyed, ironically, their forests, which led to an absolute collapse of their economy, let alone what they did later after the slave revolution in Haiti. France came and destroyed the country again. So saying that the Haitians are coming out of the jungle is doubly ignorant. It's about as ignorant a statement as you could possibly make. And then he says, "Oh, that's because they're from 200 years ago." No, brother, you sound like you're from 200 years ago. So make America backwards again? Make America racist again? What do we, and they say, "Oh, don't call us racist." Well, brother, if you don't think that's racist, I got super bad news for you. That means you're racist. Like any sane person knows, saying that black people came out of the jungle is as racist as it gets. And then he's like, in Springfield, they're eating animals. No, Rudy, they're actually eating animals everywhere. We eat hamburgers and bacon, etc. Those are all animals, Rudy. I don't know if you know that. And he's like, "Oh, voodoo, so crazy and terrible. They have ceremonies involving animals and stuff." Have you ever read the Bible? Every other page is. "And then we slaughtered the goat and sprinkled its blood in the four corners of the temple. Then we slaughtered that animal and sprinkled its blood over here and over there." If you know Jewish tradition and Muslim tradition, we sacrifice animals and feed the poor with it, etc. Boy, they're so crazy over in Haiti. You got him, Rudy. And I bet this helps you a lot with the campaign. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Bunch of old doddering fools out there saying the craziest stuff. So again, if you're a Republican and you see this and you still say, no, don't call anyone on our side racist. It doesn't mean that everybody's racist. It doesn't mean that everybody's a senile, old, ridiculous racist like Rudy. But these are your leaders saying it over and over and over again. So if you're wondering why some people say, hey, you guys look like you have leaders that aren't perfectly kosher here, this is why. It's not that complicated.
It always amazes me how he has handled his post-mayoral time, right? I mean, he could have rode off into the sunset and been a national icon until he died. He squandered all of that. And now look, it wasn't just that he hitched his wagon to Trump and took on all of that negative branding, all of that baggage. He's losing everything. He's losing his penthouse. He's losing his Yankees World Series rings. He is losing everything that he has because he has just lost his mind and at the behest of Trump has acted on some of his worst, most maybe senile impulses. And like we laid out, the Trump campaign has largely quieted on the Haitian immigrants in Springfield story because there was backlash. The town itself was being overwhelmed by death threats, bomb threats. People were going into lockdown or evacuating buildings. They knew it was a bad look for them, but this guy is just so off his rocker. He's still doubling down. And even the hosts are kind of just like, yeah. I mean, maybe they believe it, but it just seemed like they didn't even know how to respond to some of the stuff he was saying. So it's just, I'll never not be amazed at how bad he fumbled the bag. He could have just been a national hero just by nature of being mayor in New York on 9/11, and he threw it all away.
Yeah, it's hard to humiliate yourself more than this. So well played, Rudy. And by the way, if you're a Republican out there and you want Trump to win, you should be 10 times more angry at Rudy than I am. I mean, these guys, man, whether it was the Madison Square Garden rally. And by the way, Rudy was there saying that Palestinians start wanting to kill Jews at 2 years old to justify the killing of so many Palestinian children. So that, of course, didn't make that much news because politicians being in favor of killing Palestinians is Tuesday. Everybody just takes, oh yeah, of course you would kill the Palestinian children, of course, right? And so now he's insulted not just Haitians, but when you say about Haitians, they just came out of the jungle. You sure you're going to keep the young black male vote that Trump was making inroads towards? And by the way, if you are in that demographic, you really think the Republicans are on your side? I don't know, maybe you haven't seen enough politics in this country to know that the Republicans ran the Southern strategy. The Southern strategy was when the Democrats passed Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act, Richard Nixon decided, well, then let me go pick up the racist voters in the South that used to be Dixiecrats. So they purposely decided to switch the Republican Party to the racist party so that they could get those Southern votes. Now that was from decades ago, but they continued that Southern strategy, and 2 different RNC chairs have already apologized for it. But did they really change the strategy? It doesn't look like it, does it? Okay, but you keep thinking that the Republicans have your best interests in mind and see how that turns out for you. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.